everyone, I'm here with your weekly Tarotscope for the week of July 9th to the 15th of 2018. I am using for the month of July the Wonderland Tarot, and I'm also using the Oracle of the Mermaids as well. So if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you know during the week I do daily draws, and these are the decks that I'm using for the month of July. And of course, if you want your own reading, you can go to my Etsy shop and purchase a reading there. So let's get started. As always, we start with Aries. Aries, we have the Two of Pentacles for this week. So a busy week for you, Aries. I feel like, I'm not sure if you got this one last week. I feel like I've seen this card for someone last week. But it's a busy week where you're going to be juggling a lot of things, keeping a lot of things in the air, just feeling like there's a lot of stuff on your plate, but you're handling it. It's not that you're going to be able to do this forever. It's just saying that this week is one that's going to be busy. We have a lot of things going on. Also, potentially, there may be a little bit of money coming your way so that you have a little bit extra to play with. It's not a lot, though, so use it wisely. For Taurus, we have the Six of Pentacles. So Taurus, this is also going to be a prosperous week for you. And it may be a little bit more than I would say Aries. There's a little bit more coming your way, but it may not necessarily be with money. It might be the gift of time, or somebody offers you, to take you out for dinner or something. But there's some kind of generosity that's coming your way this week. And it's asking you to be generous to others as well, to share with others what you have. For Gemini, we have the Hanged Man. So not really a week of moving forward, Gemini. You're ruled by Mercury. Mercury's going to be going into retrograde later in the month, and we're in the shadow, so things are really starting to kind of slow down for you. And it's not a week for making big decisions. It's not a week for taking action. It's more a week to kind of sit back and kind of look at things and see how things are going. So it's a week to reframe your experience, to relook at things, to think about things from a different perspective. For Cancer, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So slow and steady this week, Cancer. Slow and steady. I think a lot of people have been talking about feeling stuck, like their energy is quite sluggish, and that's because we have a lot of planets right now in retrograde. We do have Jupiter moving forward this week, but we have Saturn, we have Uranus. Well, Uranus actually is preparing to go retrograde at the beginning of August, but we have Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, and then Mercury's preparing. So that's a lot of energetic sort of sluggishness that's going on, but use it to your advantage in that it's telling you slow and steady is going to win the race. You don't have to rush. You don't have to push things, just one little step at a time. So be patient with yourself this week, Cancer. For Leo, we have Strength. So same thing for you, Leo. You can't push things. You can't rush things. You're going to have to be patient. As a Leo, I know we are not great at patience. It is not one of our strong suits, but it's saying to be patient with yourself and with others, and that you can win people over with gentleness more, especially over the long term, than with trying to force things, trying to push things, trying to be aggressive. And it's about inner strength, really cultivating that inner strength from within. For Virgo, we have the High Priestess. So Virgo, this week is one where your intuition is really going to be on point. It's again, like with Gemini, who's also ruled by Mercury, this is not a week for taking big action steps or making big decisions. This is a week where you're going to be kind of, as well, much like Gemini, taking a look at things from a different perspective. Whereas with Gemini, it's saying to hold on and wait. For you, it's more about trusting your intuition, for really listening, being receptive, being open to the little voices within. It's also a good week for exploring spirituality as well, and making time for doing spiritual pursuits. For Libra, we have the Moon. Libra, this as well, like there's not a lot of action cards going on here this week, and that does not surprise me at all. But we do have a new moon this week, so you may be feeling affected by that, Libra. But Libra, this is a time where your emotions are going to be feeling kind of all over the place. Be kind to yourself if you're feeling really up and down. If you have depression or anxiety and it flares up, be kind to yourself this week. This is, again, also not a week of action for you. It's a week where you need to sit back and listen within. You may have some strange dreams. You should write them down, listen to your intuition, but don't make any decisions, because right now you don't have all the facts. And things are going to reveal themselves probably in about a month. So it's saying right now you don't have all the information to make those decisions anyway, and right now you need to kind of like do some, I don't know if it's inner healing or just more sort of work on yourself, or just kind of deal with your own stuff this particular week. For Scorpio, we have the Queen of Swords, which I think, even though this is an air card, I think of this as a very Scorpio type card. So for you, this is a week of clear decision making, whereas for other signs, it's saying to hold on, not make a decision right now. For you, it's saying this is the week where you kind of make your stand, where you make some decisions that maybe other people aren't going to be so happy about, but you have to do them for you and be clear cut about them. It also warns us about, always with the Queen of Swords, about being bitter towards things. We have to use our wisdom in a way that's kind, but also kind to ourselves as well. And sometimes we have to be kind to ourselves by saying no to things. For Sagittarius, we have the Knight of Cups. So Sagittarius, I feel like maybe you got this last week or the week before or something, but Knight of Cups means to go for your dreams. It's okay to shoot for the stars, to be optimistic, to be romantic. Definitely, it's a good week for romance, that's for sure. It's a good week to, do something artistic, to take a risk on a dream that you've been working towards. So unlike some of the other signs, it's saying that you need to go for your dreams and take some action this week. I wouldn't say big steps, but do something little to move towards your goals. All right, so Capricorn, we have the Magician. Also a good week for you. It says you have all of the tools available in front of you to make a start, to move forward, to make a decision of some kind. So while others are, kind of doing their own thing and sitting back and waiting for things, this is when you move forward. It says to be confident in yourself, that you have the tools you need. You may not feel like you're ready, but it says you actually are. You can start taking those first steps towards things, that you are much more powerful and capable than you give yourself credit for. For Aquarius, we have the Nine of Wands reversed. Aquarius, you're probably feeling exhausted. You may feel like you'll never reach the light of the end tunnel. You don't know what's next. You're not sure what's going on. And so this is telling you to rest. It's also asking you to reassess. Maybe you've been working on something for a really long time, but your heart isn't in it anymore. Or maybe your goals have changed, and it's okay to switch goals. It's okay to reassess your dreams or reassess what it is that you really want. So you might take time for this. And then we have the Knight of Wands for Pisces. So Pisces, it's a time for you to move forward. It's time for you to make a move of some kind. Whether that's actually physically moving, taking a trip of some kind, or just making a change. It says this is the week for action for you. And it's okay to take a risk. It's okay to do something differently. So unlike a lot of the other signs, move forward this week. Take that risk, make that change. If you are moving or traveling this week, this is a good indication things will go well for you. So that's what I'm seeing for the cards overall. As you can see, a lot of the signs, it's all about taking things either very slowly or sitting and waiting. And then for a few of the signs like Sagittarius, Scorpio, Capricorn, and Pisces, this is actually a week of action for you, a week of making some changes and taking some chances. So we've kind of got a little bit of everything this week for the various signs. For the Oracle card, we have Honor the Masculine. Okay, this came up this week as well in my day-to-day sort of readings. So honoring the masculine. Now, I think, terms like masculine and feminine aren't always helpful because they vary from culture to culture and person to person what they mean. So you have to think, what does masculine mean to you? And I think, we have a lot of weird ideas about masculinity in our culture, where masculinity is like this very fragile thing that, any, like the color pink can threaten it and, all sorts of weird things. So I think we need to re-examine what we mean by the word masculine. I think our culture's had a lot of great discussions about what it means to be a woman or to be feminine in our culture, but we haven't always had a really great discussion about what it means to be male or masculine in our culture. There's some really old-fashioned sort of expectations and rules, like we, men are supposed to have feelings, which is ridiculous, of course, or that men are supposed to be independent and not ever ask for help or rely on others. And again, also completely ridiculous because we're all human. And I think we have to re-examine that as a culture and a society. And I think, you know, obviously that depends where you live. Different places are going to have different issues and all that kind of stuff. But just speaking from kind of what I see around me and in the culture around me and stuff, I think that we have some pretty crazy ideas about what it means to be masculine. And I think a lot of people are starting to have those discussions about what does this really mean. You know, it's not the 1950s anymore. It's not 1900. Things have changed, and you know, we have to, you know, tell guys it's okay to have feelings, it's okay to ask for help, it's okay to be upset about things or to feel rejected or whatever, and that violence or you know, trying to be aggressive isn't the way to deal with things. So that's kind of my little soapbox there. But I think we have to honor the masculine within. I think sometimes, to me, what that means is the side of us that wants to maybe take action. For me, that just means I think we are all a mix of masculine and feminine energies, whether you're male or female, and to honor that side as well. For me, I try to make a balance, especially in my spiritual practice, of honoring both the god and the goddess, the female and male sides, and you have to define what that means for you, because I think it means different things to different people. So so take some time to honor that in your life this week. So whether this is a week of slowing down and observing or going within, or a week of action, I think that this is something good to think about anyway, and think about what it means to you. So let me know what you think. What do you think of terms like feminine and masculine? What do you think of some of this gender stereotypes and stuff like that? Let me know in the comments below. I could do a whole video about my thoughts about that, but it's interesting that card came up. So anyway, I will see you all next time. Peace, love,